Matt can't swim! Matt can't swim! Matt can't swim! Matt can't swim!
Okay, so you're about to witness a bunch of mental derangement. These people are out of their minds. They're inconsistent. These are the same ones that will say to arrest the unvaccinated, follow the science. This is a cult. This is a brainwashed cult of deranged, useful idiots. They are out here protesting for trans rights. They're the same ones that'll be screaming for the Me Too and women's rights and wearing their female cat hats. And they're the same ones that will do the March for Our Lives with the children against guns, but then also fight to my body, my choice. We want to kill children. What the schools are doing, don't send your kids to college. If you love your kids, don't send them to college. Keep them out of the public school system, because the politicians have their kids in private schools. They don't do this to their own children. Let's take a look at some of the people who, quote unquote, follow the science.
Matt can't swim! Matt can't swim! Matt can't swim! Matt can't swim!
Your ideology is killing children. Your ideology is killing children.
First of all, the trans community has a 40% suicide rate. Keep the kids out of it. If you're an adult and you want to identify as something, sure, don't confuse children and put them into a category with a 40% suicide rate. Second of all, I guarantee you, this guy sits there and marches for my body, my choice, which literally kills children. And then behind him, you're going to hear another enlightened individual saying, fuck fascists. Well, these people are trying to shut down someone who's speaking. What do fascists do? They shut down dialogue. They shut down communication. They shut down the conversation. It's the left-wing cancel culture that bans people off platforms. So you're going to watch a bunch of fascists who like to murder babies tell you that your ideology of not wanting men beating the shit out of women in women's sports is killing children. Okay. Science.
Your ideology is killing children. Fuck fascists, fuck fascism.
Transphobia kills.
Transphobia kills. Trans lifestyle promotes suicide at a 40% rate. And phobia is an irrational fear. I don't have an irrational fear. I have trans friends. What I have disgust in is when you want to sexually pervert kindergartners, first graders, 8-year-olds, when you want to teach them to cut off their genitals and take hormone blockers and do irreparable damage to their developing bodies. That's child abuse. What about when you want to mangle kids that are about to be born in the womb? That's murdering children. That's infanticide. I think in Virginia at one point, even after you had the baby, you can still choose whether or not you want to keep it. These are sick, deranged, depraved individuals, and they don't know any better because they're brainwashed, they're indoctrinated, they're in a cult hive mind. And if any one of them tried to think for themselves, the rest of the mob would come and cancel them.
Transphobia kills.
Transphobia doesn't kill. Alright, let's say you have an irrational fear of trans people. How does that kill anybody? How does it kill? How does it kill anyone? Explain that. Transphobia kills. No, it doesn't. Provide me with some explanation that can explain that. But the second you say it, you're misogynistic, you're a Nazi, you're a fascist, you're transphobic. Transphobia doesn't kill. Transitioning kills. It puts trans people right into a category with a 40% suicide rate. Doing this to children, this child abuse, that kills. Transitioning kills. Transphobia, I haven't heard of one person getting killed because someone else didn't agree with who they like to sleep with. Because remember, this is all about sex. This is all about who you like to sleep with. This is perversion. These are sick, perverted, just that sick. This is sick. And they want to do it to your children. That's what the whole say gay. No, The whole bill is about not grooming children into the sick, perverted sexual mentality. These are basically grooming. They're pedophiles. You want to sexualize children. You get gratification of putting sexual thoughts into the mind of a child. That's sick. You belong in prison.
Your ideology is killing children.
Tell us why you're out here today.
I'm standing for trans rights.
Not women's rights. Not children's rights. Trans rights. What rights don't the trans community have? Notice he's going to leave out women here, but then he'll be at the Women's March. He's a useful idiot. And it takes him a pause when they ask him, is the man and the woman the same biologically? You know, science.
Do you think there's a biological difference between men and women?
Biological?
Biological? Trans women are not women. Trans women are men who decide to identify as women. Again, science.
I would stand for lesbian, gay, LGBT, bisexual, and trans community.
Okay. Women that like to sleep with women, men that like to sleep with men, people that like to sleep with both, and people who want to be the opposite sex or go through a literal mental disability of gender dysphoria. It's all about sex. Sex, sex, sex. These sick, perverted fucks. And they're dragging your children into it.
Whose campus? Our campus. Whose campus? Our campus.
Well, if it was really their campus, then they wouldn't be begging to have their debt relieved because they make dumb choices through indoctrination.
Why are you guys out here yelling instead of maybe going inside? I mean, there's a Q&A. You guys have the opportunity to go and ask what's a question. Don't you think that would be more productive?
Well, they can't have a conversation. Science only matters when it follows their narrative. There is no conversation to have with these people because, remember, they're mentally deranged.
When it comes to Republicans are more argumentative.
We're more argumentative because our arguments make sense. And you belong in an asylum. And I have news for you. We don't like the fact that you're running around like a bunch of pedophiles shoving your sexual preferences into the face of children. You belong in prison.
My way or the highway.
Oh, so burning down cities for a year and a half, right? Because that's what we did. My way or the highway. No, these are the democratic socialists. These are the ones that preach democracy. You know what democracy is? It's mob rule. We like individual liberty. A constitutional republic where you keep the fuck out of my life and I'll keep the fuck out of yours. The problem is these people, you know how they get these pop-up rallies so fast? Because they're in a hive mind. They're in a cult. They're in a deranged cult. They don't think for themselves, and that's the problem. That's why they need safe spaces. Because they can't handle reality. They can't hold a conversation.
Don't you think this might be my way or the highway here?
No.
No, because it's only my way or the highway when people who don't follow ideology does it. Once you leave the cult. Milo Yiannopoulos, they banned him, and he's gay. He's a gay man. He just cares about individual rights and free thinkers, and he actually lives in the realm of reality. These people do not live in the realm of reality. This is insanity. You are watching insanity. Fuck fascists. Yet we're going to rally and scream and start riots because somebody wants to speak. What colleges are doing today and the public school system is doing today to children is child abuse. And these young adults grow up thinking that they're the good guys. They're here for trans rights. Let's let men in the ring to beat the shit out of women. But we got to arrest the unvaccinated, and you need to be wearing your mask. And none of their ideology lines up. They don't follow science. They don't follow reality. They don't live in the realm of reality. These people need serious mental help. If you love your children, get them out of the public school system, and definitely don't encourage them to go to college, because they're going to come back, cut their genitals off, scream about how you're an oppressor, you're racist, and then they're going to kill themselves. This needs to stop. And we'll leave that there, as my boy Rick from Good Luck America would say. Good night.